Hello, my friends. I am here to do another love class. This is my first love class for 2026, and I am super excited to be back. I've been teaching this class in the county jails in the Florida Panhandle. I go into jail 3 to 4 times a week and teach the same class in different formats to female inmates in the county jails. And man, I love it so much. These ladies, a lot of them are getting out of jail, some of the ones that I've met, and we're becoming friends on the outside, and I get to be a part of their lives, and it's just amazing. I go in and I teach the gospel. I don't really talk that much about behavior. I feel like other programs come in and do that. I just teach straight up good news, and I remind the women in there how wonderful they are and how much God believes in them. And I came across something recently that I can't not share it. And so I've been teaching it in the jails, and the ladies are, they're really responding. And I can't wait to tell you some of the stories today about what they've said about this, but I'll just kind of jump right in it. You know that I'm a big fan of the Mirror Word Bible. I just love it so much. I call it the Wow Bible. It's really big. This is actually a small version of it. This isn't the whole thing that's been translated yet, but this is the first one that I got, and I just love it so much. I call it the Wow Bible, but recently on another Facebook post, I saw where someone had called it the Yellow Pages. And I thought, wow, it is God's Yellow Pages because it's all about every single one of us. He knows every one of us, and we're known by him. Oh, to be known as we have always been known, loved, adored, innocent, like him, righteous, holy. Oh man, I could go on and on. I'll try to stick with the teaching today because I'm so excited. I just kind of keep going off in different directions. But the first thing I wanted to do was kind of explain a little bit just how I got there. Maybe not explain it, but to give you the tools or the resources also to get your own goodies. And so the first way I got there obviously was through the Mirror Bible. The second way is this little booklet called The Logic of His Love. And this one is by Francois and Lydia also, and it's available on Amazon, I think through Kindle, and The Logic of His Love. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Whoa, it's super, super amazing. And another way that I kind of got there was through this book. I actually wrote this book with the saints and mystics. It's all quotes. I really didn't write anything except for the introduction. I just put together a collection of all of my favorite quotes from the saints and mystics. And I realized that spending, days with them and just in their understanding, immersed in their words and in their understanding, it really did something to me that was amazing. And I needed it. And I'll just read you one of them. Like, for instance, this is from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He is an amazing mystic. I think he went on to be with the Lord maybe in 1955. And what he says was, his resurrection liberated the atomic energy of life on a massive scale. It set in motion a chain of reactions that has made man a new being, hitherto unknown to even himself. Whoa. And then he says, without a loss of our individual identities, we have become a single somebody. And the somebody is capitalized, a capital S. And he says, I believe that God is ceaseless love. I believe that love is my Father. And then he says, I have a great belief in the deep unity of all things. And man, just imagine spending time with them on a daily basis and having them remind me of what union really is. They saw it on a massive scale. They saw it kind of like the way the Apostle Paul sees it and how John the Beloved sees this. It's just so cosmic, and it's universal, and it's all inclusive, and it is all accepting. And I just spending time with them really immersed me in it. I'm so thankful for them. I asked them, all of these people have gone on, they're in the cloud. And so I asked them while I was working on this project, I said, can I share your work with people? And I felt all of them say, this is why we wrote it. This is why we wrote it. Don't forget about us. Yes, publish our material. Show how we believed. It's essential to the body. And then after I went through the saints and mystics, I discovered, I love poetry. And so I wrote this book called Kisses in the Ether. And this also is a 365-day collection of the poetry of love and union. And within the poets, I go all the way back to, oh man, Native Americans, they understood something of how we were all connected to one great God, one great being who was all love, all nurturing. And then to see this love expressed throughout the land and how we tend to the land with loving kindness and the land responds to us, it's just so amazing. And I just sat with these poets and I asked them too, I said, could I share your work with people? I'm loving it. And I just felt like their hands on my shoulders. Even Socrates was like, please take it. And this is why we wrote it. We wrote it so that people would have the understanding. And I feel the same way about Francois. And so I was sitting on the beach the other day. Imagine that. I live in a super beautiful coastal area. And you want to talk about blue mind theory, just the idea that that seeing the water induces a mildly meditative state on our bodies and on our minds. It's so true. And I was just sitting in this rocking chair, just looking at the water, listening to the waves, and just thinking about how we are so connected to everything and how God is whispering through everything, through all of creation. And super amazing. Here's what I came across recently in the Mirror Bible that just totally blew my mind. One thing about Francois, and I learned this just from spending time with him, is he does a lot of his own edits. And so once he gets a little bit more clarity or maybe some understanding or better wording for it, something that he's already written, he will go back through and add this new understanding or layers to what he's already got into the commentary or into the verses. And so what I'm about to share with you is on Kindle, but I didn't find it in this published edition, all right? That's why having the Mirror Bible app is so amazing, because you get the instant updates on the app also. Okay, so here's what I found. In John 1:1, where it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Here's what Francois has written. The Word equals God. Right? We all know this, but the word is the logos in Greek. And he goes into a definition or maybe a little bit more of a meaning into it. And what he says is the logos, and then he's got in parentheses there, is intelligence as an interconnected network of all things known. Think about that. The logos. Man, I get jacked up thinking about it. The logos is an intelligence of an interconnected network of all things known. The sum total of all logic. This is the logos. This is our Jesus. This is Christ, Jesus Christ, the Word, not the Bible, the Word, Jesus. The Word, Christ, the Word who equals God and who is God and who was made flesh. The sum total of all logic, and then I added all meaning, all existence, all union, and all oneness. The logos is the intelligence of love in all and all. Imagine how intelligent this love is. And it's everywhere. That's why some people say it's always working out for our good. This love is super intelligent. And then one thing I love about the mirror also is that Francois will leave you like breadcrumbs, literally, almost under every single verse, and tell you how he got where he got and how to find it if you want to find it for yourself. And so in John 1:1, there's a a scripture reference, and it says, see John 8:31. And here's what John 8:31 says. I hope you guys are sitting down for this. Take my intelligence, take my word, take this intelligence of love, take this, the sum total of all the logic of God, who is love, all the logic of meaning, existence, union, oneness, all in all. Take my intelligence, take my word, and this is Jesus speaking, knowing he is the word. Take my intelligence to its complete conclusion. And then abide in that. In the logic, in the meaning, in the coexistence of this love that is permeating everyone and everything with only the intent of loving and restoring us back to the Father, or our original identity, our redeemed innocence, our likeness. Oh my gosh. And to abide in this is to truly be my disciple. Indeed, because then once you understand it, you can't not tell it. So then John 8:32, which is one of our favorite verses, you know, if you grew up in church or if you studied anything in the Bible, remember it says you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. And so the way that Francois puts it, he says, in this abiding, what are we abiding in? In this, the word, which is the complete intelligence of love. Take this intelligence to its complete conclusion. Number one, that no one's left out of it, that all things are permeated by it, through it, for it, to it, and in existence, that in this we live and move and have our being, in this supreme intelligence of love, who just so happens to be God, who became just like us so that we could understand it ourselves. In this intelligence, in this abiding, and I put in seamless oneness, in this intelligence that all things are connected to and created by love, for love, so that we would know love as we have always been known by love. Then you will know the truth about who you really are. And this knowing that we are in the intelligence of love 24/7, this will be your freedom to know the truth about yourself. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it just so darn beautiful? Love is the intelligence that recognizes what I am, you are. Oh my goodness. Man, I just love it so much. And now I understand, why Francois, he would always come back to Isaiah 55:10 and 11. And whenever he would share it, he would just begin to weep and laugh, tears of joy. And here's what it says. For as the rain and snow come down from heaven and return not there without saturating the earth, which is all flesh, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. And now think about this word being this divine intelligence of love that is always only loving, that has no other agenda except to love you into wholeness, or remind you that you're already whole, that you're already one. It says, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth, and it shall not return empty to me, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Oh my goodness, man. And so what he says here is every nook and cranny of human life is saturated in the incarnation. God becoming flesh. God becoming flesh. He divinized everything. When he entered into creation, he actually showed his divine intelligence on display in all of creation and said, nothing is apart from this love. Nothing. And man, I just love it. So while we were talking about this on Monday in one of my jails, one of the ladies in there who I'd never met before, she said, while you're talking, I see it. She said, I see that Christ is all. And when we say Christ is all and Christ is in all, it is everything that the Christ represents, everything he is, we are. The sum total of all, the logic of God, the intelligence of love, the interconnectedness of all things, our redeemed innocence, our redeemed righteousness, our original design, rebooted and restored. She said, now I see it like the CIA, that Christ in all is the highest intelligence that we could ever have. And he's actually living alive inside of us. And then we did this exercise because I had one of my ladies in there and she was really hurting a lot. She had a lot of back pain. And I love her so much and I know her and I could see her face and she was wincing in pain. And I said, my love, are you doing okay? Do we need to do anything for you? She said, I have a lot of back pain right now. And I thought, man, we have this super intelligence living inside of our bodies. And I just said, let's just do this. I said, put your hand on your stomach and just go inside. Escape within. There's always a way of escape, And so we escape within to the secret place inside of us where only me and God meet. Nobody else is in there. And I said, let's just escape within. There's always a way of escape. Go into the deepest place where you meet in the sanctuary or in a garden, or it might be beside a little creek, or it might be that you're surfing. Go inside yourself to that one place where you meet with God. And I said, that's supreme intelligence. That's divine intelligence. That's understanding. I said, now from this place, imagine it spreading out through your whole body, because it already is. And it's just imagine it. So if you need a little bit more love, if you're feeling, I just don't feel love today, imagine your heart getting bigger and feeling this divine intelligence of love expanding in you. If you have a little bit of back pain, imagine that love going into those areas and then soothing your soul and reminding you, hey, you're not separate from me. I'm there with you in it. And watch my love heal you. Watch my love soothe you and minister to you and nourish you. And man, after we did that, we only did it for like 5 minutes, but it seemed like 20 minutes later. And when we opened our eyes, it was like we had all taken about a 20-minute nap. And some of the girls started yawning, and there was just so much shalom. It was amazing. It was really amazing. I really hope that this has, does something to you too. I just think it's so great to see it in real life, to see the big picture of who Christ is, what Christ has actually done for humanity, what he's done for creation, and how we're just all connected by this intelligence of love. Another verse that came up while we were talking, because I open up my teaching for conversation. I say, interrupt me. Let's talk about this. Let's see where we see it and where we don't. And one of them said, it really reminds me of in Romans where it says that all things work together for our good. And then if you understand that, it says that God is love and that all things through love are mutually contributing to my advantage. And I said, boy, that sounds like a really intelligent love, doesn't it? And the thing about it is, it's in the little details of our lives. Yeah, it's super massive on a massive scale. And yet somehow God and all of his love, he knows how to minister to us personally and make this relationship real. So that's it. I love y'all so much. I'm super glad to be back with you. I'm still going into jail every chance I get. I'll put a link in my comments on how you can help me go to jail. Send me to jail. I love it. And I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your love and for helping me do what I get to do. And I love y'all.